I became involved in Inspectors Wear Skirts. It was kind of like a funny way I did. I was shooting another movie in Hong Kong, and I got a call from Golden Harvest saying that they've already started shooting Inspectors Wear Skirts, but they weren't that excited with the film. They figured it needed more to it. And at that time I was getting quite popular, so they said, okay, let's add her into the film. So when I went to shoot, they were already shooting some of it, and they just added my scene as the inspector of the other girls. So it was kind of interesting. It was a different company. I never worked with this stunt team. I haven't worked with the people. They were all new to me, but I was like, sure, if I could work 2 jobs at one time, awesome.
Be careful!
Action!
I heard of Civil. She was quite popular actress in Hong Kong, and I was really excited to work with her because I knew she could speak English, and at that time there weren't a lot of people that could speak English. And I thought, she did an awesome job because this was a film about women fighting, and this is very unusual back in that era. I think Michelle Yeoh and I started off with Yes Madam, but now they have a team of women fighting, which was very creative and innovative on the company's part.
In the past, it has been the men who have handled all the operations. Do you know why? Tell me.
Discrimination.
Wrong. A man is physically stronger than we are. So normally the women are left behind.
No. At that time, I didn't know. I didn't know that that was the same locations as Project A. I think maybe even at that time, I didn't even know Project A of the movie. So remember, I'm still kind of new in Hong Kong at this time, and I just know the set was like crazy. I don't know if it was on the Golden Harvest lot or if they filmed on the Shaw Brothers lot, but it was a big town, that was set up just as a film studio. So it was exciting for me because it wasn't like the other films that I've done that you were just in regular locations, but here we are on a really big film set. That was a very exciting scene for me, shooting the opening scene, because I wasn't sure what the action was going to be like, because I was used to Corey Yun's stunt team. And when they said I was going to fight with a cane, I was so excited, because that's a traditional kung fu weapon that you don't really see. And I thought they came up with such creative moves. Actually, I have a friend that's called a cane master, and he makes canes, and I showed him that, and he was so excited to see someone do such an incredible scene choreography with this cane. And it was crazy. Everything was really fast. We were tumbling and falling all around, and I had so much fun, doing the fighting. And I just remember I had this oversized white suit on, that was pretty crazy to fight in. These scenes, they take quite a few days. We were there a couple days because there were some pretty good stunts, especially like, climbing up the walls and things like that. So usually when you see a big stunt like that, that's like a one day shot of just that stunt. But still, everybody is there waiting around in case they want to shoot something else. But they really do take their time when they're preparing for a big stunt. When I went to shoot Inspectors Wear Skirts, all I knew, I didn't have a script because remember, they don't shoot with scripts, so I had no idea. I just knew that I was the trainer of these girls. And that's all I went in knowing. After I saw it later, I was like, oh yeah, okay, there is a lot of funny stuff in it, and it was like Police Academy, but at that time, right, I didn't know what I was doing until I got to set. I think I played it kind of straight, I didn't have too much direction at all on acting, so I almost had to come up with my own character, and I just remember that when I was shooting, I think I was shooting Lady Reporter at the time, and Mong Hoi said to me, be careful because these aren't our stunt team. They're not going to be looking out for you like the way we are. So there's a scene in there where I'm training the girls, and they have to run on this apparatus that I made, and I light it on fire, so the fire catches and they have to run fast enough or they'll get hit with the fire. Well, I remember Mong Hoi saying, just be careful, and I just had a funny feeling about the stunt. All he said to me is, I want you to light this and then it's going to catch flame, and it's going to go all the way that way, and I want you to keep your face there so the camera will see you and the fire all at once. And I said, well, can you do it first and show me? And he didn't want to do it because they have to light it up, and then that's going to take another hour or two. But I just felt, Mang Hoi saying, they're not going to look out for you, and I felt that I really want to see how this fire is going to go. So he does it for me. He lights it up. At that time, a big wind came, blew the flame into his face, singed his eyebrows off, burned his face, his hair, and all I kept thinking is, oh my gosh, that could have been me. That would have been me. And now I'm like a little paranoid going, geez, I got to really watch out for myself. So they changed the whole scene. They said, okay, now you're going to light it. Instead of keeping your face there, run back from it. So you see me light it and run back. And that was why, because the stuntman burned his face. And you think about it, I mean, that could have ruined my whole career. I could have had a burned face with all of my long hair catching on fire and stuff. So I was very thankful that I got that tip from Mang Hoi. Sybil, we became really good friends, and it's interesting about the women Hong Kong actresses, because when they do an action picture, they really try their best, and they're up for doing any kind of stunt or getting hurt. It's not like in America where like actresses would be like, I want a stunt double, And I can't remember her name, but I know the one girl that was really funny in it. She didn't speak English too well, but she was the short one with the dark hair. She was very funny, and then I realized, okay, this is a comedy, because her scenes were really funny. But it was interesting because at first I thought, oh my gosh, they have all these women fighting. What if it's not too good, But when I saw the film, when it was done, I was really surprised, going, wow, these fight scenes are really good. Like I said, I didn't really have too much to go on, so I knew I was the inspector, so I know she has to be tough. She has to be tough with these women and keep them in line, like, kind of like a drill sergeant. She's not funny. She's really into business. And if they do something wrong, she's going to reprimand them, because if they do something wrong out in the line of duty, they could get killed. So I just tried to play it like pretty tough. I pretty much hung out with Sybil, and I got to know them a little bit, and kind of try to help them with the fighting. I think especially when Jeff Falcon came in, like how to help them like do some of the falls or the reactions to it. Yeah, so we became friends, but mostly I hung out pretty much with Sybil. And in the minute I shot, then I was off shooting the other movie. So, and surprisingly enough, I wasn't there that long. I think they shot my part like probably within like 7-day period.
Lady, you're very honest. Tell me, how many girls are there?
I'll tell. Now there are 30 of us. Me, Eileen, Irene. The one with the big tits is Armand. And the fat one's called Asan.
Right, I think Sandra was a comedian in real life, and I found out that, when you do action movies in Hong Kong, they add this really kind of crazy slapsticky kind of comedy to it, and she was I didn't know what she was saying at the time, because she wasn't speaking English, but afterwards I saw it and I was like, oh yeah, it's pretty funny. In fighting, it doesn't matter who you're fighting, your timing it's either going to make the scene look good or it's not. And I was happy because I was used to, like I said, Golden Harvest stunt team, and this team was really phenomenal, and sometimes I forget like how good the fight scenes were in that, and you go back like 25 years later, 30 years later, and I saw it not that long ago, and I was like, yeah, it's really good fights in here. They did well. I mean, they took a long time, getting the choreography down, and there were some doubles also, coming in, but like I said, I think there's something about being on the set with action people, especially when you have someone that comes in and knows how to fight and really strong. They don't want to look like flaky or soft, so it brings their level up a little bit higher to get tougher, to get stronger, to make it more believable. Yeah, the fight scene on the vessel was pretty creative because you had them like cleaning the deck, and we turned all those mops and other apparatuses into weapons and how to use them for fighting. So, and the girls did a great job with it, And there were a lot of bruises. There were a lot of bruises on the set, but that's just all part of doing Hong Kong movies. It's always fun to break things because it's really like sugar glass. So you're not going to get hurt, and it breaks so easy when you fall into it. The issue is you have to do it right on the first take because otherwise they got to clean it up and rebuild another one. They don't have certain ones there. They have to actually rebuild it. But yeah, that's always fun. It always looks very, very explosive and powerful. And I think that's like one of the things like doing Hong Kong movies is they really know how to make the props. There's really not a big difference working with Jackie's team and Sammo because, Sammo and Jackie came up from the same place. They trained in the Chinese opera together, so they have the same similar style, For me, it was just that I've worked with Sammo's and Yun Kui's stunt team on Yes, Madam for 8 months. So then when I'm doing the next movie, I know them all and I trust them. Here I'm going to another team and I don't know how they move. I don't know, if they're going to look out for me as much as they did, on the other movies. But they, you know what? As far as choreography goes, they're both brilliant. I can't say it's better to work with one or the other. It's just that I was familiar with the stuntmen from, Golden Harvest. Now, when we did the choreography, there's a couple stuntmen, and they'll work through the scene with the two stunt guys and show you it, and one person's fighting and one's the other. And it's good to work with them because if there's something you don't like, they were very easy to change it or make it work for you. But some of the moves are really, really brilliant. And I know I see that one, where I'm climbing up all those steps and the balconies and going up, and I totally forgot about that. And then I remembered going, oh yeah, I remember I did that. How could I forget that? But as far as choreography goes, you couldn't tell if it was one team or the other team. They both are brilliant. I loved working and fighting with Jeff because we had the same style, and we could work weapons well together. He was a competitor. He competed in China. He studied in mainland China a lot longer than I have. And then, like I said, we did Prince of the Sun together. And yeah, I don't know. Like now we're trying to get a hold of him. We don't know. Last anybody saw him is he was in China, but he had this love for China. He wanted to live there. He married a Chinese girl. And he almost, I think, saw himself as he was from China. So love to catch up with him. But wherever you are, Jeff, let us know. I think the stunt people incorporated the monkey style that Jeff Falcon used because he did study monkey style. And that's why he was like really good at it and he knew it. And sometimes the stunt people will ask, what style do you do? And then they'll choreograph it to your movement. And you don't see the monkey style too much, in movies. So it was interesting, to see him do that. And it's funny because they say, and you really do see it in people that study monkey style, that the Chinese say when you study it, you almost take the spirit of the monkey, and I would see Jeff, sitting off to the side, scratching like a monkey, eating a banana, and I'm like, is that real or whatever? But, he got into that character. I mean, I really think he thought that was a monkey, and it was nice to do weapons. I always like to do weapons, and it was great to work with Jeff because, weapons is very dangerous. Someone could hit you, you can get hurt bad. I know many actors that were, but since Jeff was really, really good as a weapon master, it's nice to fight someone like that you can trust when you're doing like weapons fighting together. I was very excited when I heard about this movie because I thought Jackie was going to be in it, and I thought I would see him. and he wasn't. So I think he was just behind the scenes. He wasn't on set at all when I was shooting. So I was kind of disappointed. I would have, I was supposed to do the movie Armor of God with him, and then he got hurt. So I thought, oh, maybe we could have a scene together, but I never saw him on set. I don't recall them ever asking me to do an Inspectors Wear Skirts Part 2, and I think because of that is when I went back and I shot, I believe, Lady Reporter. That was my last Golden Harvest movie in Hong Kong. Then they wanted to do the China O'Briens in America. They wanted to start doing American movies. So nobody ever really approached me for doing Inspectors Wear Skirts Part 2. I rate this probably it's like maybe my 4th favorite movie, and the reason I like it is because it stars in women, and women are tough and fighting, and who knows, maybe that's kind of where they came up with the Expendables, that they wanted to do a female team of fighters. But I think the fighting is great in it. It has that Hong Kong comedy, and it's just really good to see an action film with women, not just one, but a lot of them doing the action that is successful. I'm just glad that 88 Films is bringing this film back to life, because I always thought it was such a shame that the world, only like Asia, could see these incredible films. And how awesome is that? It was shot like back, in the 90s, or even late 80s, and they still hold a candle today to any action film that you see.